Hey everyone, and thanks for being here today. My name is Melissa Patterson, and I am a health coach with Simple. I work mainly with the city of Auburn. For attending today's health break, you will receive 25 points or one ticket if this incentive applies to your employer's program. To ensure everyone is properly credited, we will take attendance using a link that is posted already in the chat. Please just click the link and complete the instructions before logging off today. And then in a few days, there will also be a makeup video link sent out for those who missed the live presentation. So if you're not viewing this presentation live, you will receive credit by answering all 5 questions in the recorded video. So let's get started. Today's health break is on stress management techniques. Things we will be discussing today is stress, what it is, the different types, and the effects it can have on your body. Several different stress management techniques, such as breathing exercises, meditation, progressive muscle relaxation, and visualization. Then a few stress management tactics that are called the 4A's, followed by some alternative stress management techniques that you might want to give a try. Then some healthy habits you may be able to implement to help with the stress. And finally, how social support is beneficial and signs it may be time to seek additional help. So first, what exactly is stress? Stress is your body's natural response to a challenge or demand. It's actually part of your survival system. Your body releases hormones that prepare you to react quickly. In small amounts, stress can actually be helpful. For example, it can motivate you to meet a deadline. But when stress becomes constant or overwhelming, it stops being helpful and starts affecting your mental and physical health. There are 2 main types of stress, acute and chronic. Acute stress is short term. It comes and goes quickly, like feeling nervous before a presentation. Once the situation's over, the stress usually goes away. Chronic stress is long term. This happens when stressful situations don't go away, like ongoing problems at work, home, or financial issues. Chronic stress is more serious because it can build up over time and start to impact your health if it's not managed properly. Stress affects your whole body, not just your emotions. Physically, you might notice headaches, muscle tension, feeling tired all the time, or even stomach problems. Some people also experience a faster heart rate or get sick more often. Emotionally, stress can make you feel anxious, overwhelmed, irritable, or even sad. Small things might start to feel like a big deal. Cognitively, it can affect your thinking. You might have trouble focusing, remembering things, or making decisions. Your mind might feel like it's constantly racing. And even behavior-wise, stress can change your habits. You might not sleep well, your eating patterns might change, or you might start avoiding responsibilities. These are all normal reactions, but if they last too long, that's when stress becomes harmful. This is why stress management is so important. It helps you stay in control of your life. If stress isn't managed, it can lead to burnout, where you feel completely exhausted and unmotivated. It can also affect your relationships, your performance at work, and your overall health. But when you learn how to manage stress, you can think more clearly, stay productive, and feel more balanced overall. So let's move into discussing some stress management techniques. First, breathing exercises. Deep breathing is one of the simplest and fastest ways to reduce stress. When you're stressed, your breathing becomes quick and shallow. Deep breathing does the opposite. It slows your breathing down and tells your body to relax. Breathing techniques are one of the simplest and most effective ways to manage stress because they directly affect the nervous system. One common method is box breathing, where you inhale, hold, exhale, and hold again for equal counts, usually for 4 seconds each. This creates a steady rhythm that helps calm the body. You can start at 4 seconds, and as you get more comfortable, you can start to increase the seconds to help with relaxation. So you could build up to 6, 6, 6, 6, or 10, 10, 10, 10. This helps slow your heart rate, lower blood pressure, and calm your mind. It's something you can do anywhere before a presentation, during a stressful moment, or even before going to sleep. Another is 4, 7, 8 breathing, where you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. The longer exhale helps activate the body's relaxation response. Diaphragmatic breathing, or belly breathing, focuses on taking slow, deep breaths using the diaphragm instead of shallow chest breathing. This improves oxygen flow and reduces tension. Pursed lip breathing involves inhaling through your nose and exhaling slowly through pursed lips. This helps slow down breathing and is often used to reduce shortness of breath and anxiety. Finally, alternative nostril breathing. This involves breathing through one nostril at a time. This technique comes from yoga practices and may help promote balance and relaxation. Now, I'd like to take just a quick moment to do a 4-second box breathing exercise together. So I like to start with everybody just first sitting comfortably. Sit up straight but relaxed. Place your feet flat on the floor and rest your hands on your lap. We want to take a deep breath in through your nose for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now breathe out slowly through your mouth for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold that for 1, 2, 3, 4. Relax. Let's try it one more time and notice how your body starts to feel calmer with each breath. And inhaling through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your mouth 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Now, how do you feel? Even a short exercise like this can lower your heart rate and help your mind feel more focused. You can use this technique anytime you need a quick stress reset. Next up is meditation and mindfulness. These are about focusing your attention and clearing your mind. A key difference between the two is that meditation is a focused practice where you set aside time to calm your mind. You usually might sit quietly, pay attention to your breath, a mantra, or a guided exercise. This goal is to reduce stress, improve focus, and relax your body and mind. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in everyday life. It means noticing your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judging them. Mindfulness can be done while walking, eating, or doing chores, not just sitting still. Mindfulness helps with stress by bringing your attention to the present moment instead of worrying about the past or future. A few recommendations are body scan meditation, where you would lie on your back with your legs extended and arms at your sides. Palms would be facing up. You focus your attention slowly and deliberately on each part of your body, in order, from toe to head or head to toe. You be aware of any sensations, emotions, or thoughts associated with each part of your body. Next is sitting meditation, which you would sit comfortably with your back straight, feet on the floor, and hands in your lap. Breathing through your nose, focusing on your breath moving in and out of your body. If physical sensations or thoughts interrupt your meditation, you just take note of that experience and then return your focus to your breath. And then walking meditation, you would find just a quiet place, maybe 10 to 20 feet in length, and begin to walk slowly. You focus on experience of walking, being aware of the sensations of standing and the subtle movements that keep your balance. When you reach the end of your path, you turn, continue walking, just maintaining that awareness of your sensations. And finally, if you ever find yourself feeling anxious, try the countdown to calm. This will help shift your focus to the present moment and away from unhealthy thought patterns. So you'd sit quietly, look around, and you notice 5 things you can see, 4 things you can physically feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Next is visualization or guided imagery. This is when you imagine yourself in a calm, peaceful place, like a beach, forest, or anywhere you feel relaxed. You try to picture it in detail, what it looks like, what you hear, even what it smells like. This works because your brain responds to these mental images almost like you're really there, which helps reduce stress and anxiety. It's a great technique to use when you need a mental escape or want to calm down before sleeping. Next is progressive muscle relaxation, which focuses on relieving physical tension in your body. You go through different muscle groups like your hands, shoulders, and legs and tighten them for a few seconds, then slowly release. The idea is that by tensing and relaxing your muscles, you become more aware of where you're holding stress and can let it go. This is especially helpful if you feel physically tense, like maybe tight shoulders or stiff neck. Now, I'd like to guide you through a quick progressive muscle relaxation exercise. As we do this, just pay attention to how your body feels when it's tense versus when it's relaxed. So, once again, go ahead and sit straight up comfortably with your feet flat on the floor and your hands relaxed. We're going to start with our hands, so we'll start by clenching our fists tightly and we'll hold for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now release and notice how your hands feel more relaxed. Next is arms. We'll tighten our arms by bending our elbows and tensing our muscles. And we'll hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. Let your arms go loose. Next, shoulders. We'll raise our shoulders up towards your ears and we'll hold that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let those drop down and relax. And face next, we'll scrunch our face up, kind of like this, and we'll tighten those eyes and jaw, and we'll hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now let your face completely relax. And now onto our legs. We'll press our feet into the floor and tighten our leg muscles. Let's hold that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax those legs. And full body. Now let's take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, let your entire body relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice how your body feels now compared to before. This technique works because it helps you recognize tension and then release it. You can use this anytime you feel physically stressed, especially before sleeping or during a stressful day. Now, I'd just like to add that all of these techniques we have discussed work best when you practice them regularly, not just when you're stressed. Over time, they can train your body to feel more relaxed easily. And so, like most things, there is an app for that. Here are a couple of apps that are specifically designed for calming and stress relief. These both have a full library of guided meditation, imagery, breathing exercises, and more that can help with both stress and sleep. Headspace, I would say, is probably the leader in these types of meditation apps. And Medito is run by a nonprofit, so it is free for everything the app has to offer, which is great. There are several of these types of apps, so just look around and see what might be right for you. Using these apps is a great way to be guided in the right direction. Now, if you're like most people, your life may be filled with too many demands and too little time. The 4 A's of stress management are a simple way to think about how you can respond to stress in different situations. Not every stressful situation can be handled the same way, so these give you options. The first A is avoid. This means staying away from unnecessary stress when possible. For example, if something or someone consistently causes you stress and it's not essential, you can limit your exposure to it. It could be avoiding procrastination, certain situations, or even managing your time better so you don't create extra stress for yourself. The second A is alter. This means changing the situation to make it less stressful. For example, if you're overwhelmed with work, you might communicate that with a boss or coworker, ask for help, or adjust your schedule. It's about taking action to improve the situation instead of just dealing with it as it is. The third A is adapt. This focuses on changing how you think about the situation. Sometimes you can't change what's happening, but you can change your mindset. For example, instead of thinking, this is too much, you might think, I'll take this one step at a time. This helps reduce how stressful the situation feels. And the fourth A is accept. This means recognizing that some things are out of your control. Instead of stressing over something you can't change, you learn to accept it and focus on what you can control. This can help you let go of unnecessary stress. So overall, the 4 A's, avoid, alter, adapt, and accept, give you practical ways to handle stress depending on the situation instead of feeling stuck or overwhelmed. Now, I'd like to give you a couple of stressful scenarios to see how you might handle them. This situation is about a stressful deadline that you can't avoid, which is something most people experience at work. What would you do? Would you A, break the task into smaller steps, use breathing techniques to stay calm, accept that some stress is unavoidable, or panic and procrastinate? I'd love to hear what you guys think of, at least for yourselves, in the chat. All right, so we got an A. So breaking the task into smaller steps. Absolutely. So option A, breaking the task into smaller steps, is an example of adapting. Large tasks can feel overwhelming, but dividing them into smaller steps, manageable parts, makes them feel more achievable and reduces stress. Option B, which could also be correct, is using breathing techniques to stay calm, is another way to adapt. Teaching techniques like box breathing or 4-7-8 breathing helps slow your heart rate and calm your nervous system, making it easier to focus and think clearly. And option C could also be correct. Accepting that some stress is unavoidable is also important. This is part of accepting what you can't change. Deadlines are a normal part of life, and recognizing that some stress is natural can actually reduce how overwhelming it feels. Option D is the only technically incorrect answer because panicking and procrastinating usually increases stress and makes the situation worse over time. This situational example shows that when you can't remove a stressor, the best approach is to manage your response to it by adapting and accepting the situation. Next situation is a coworker that is causing you stress with constant negativity. This scenario focuses on dealing with stress caused by other people, which again is a very common in a workplace. So what would you do? Set boundaries or limit interactions. Talk to them about how it affects you. Ignore it and let it build up. Or change how you respond emotionally. Once again, I'd love to hear your answers in the chat. We got A and B. Nice. Yeah, so option A is setting boundaries or limiting interactions. This is an example of avoiding unnecessary stress. This can mean spending less time around that coworker or not engaging in negative conversations. Option B, talking to them about how it affects you, is a way to alter the situation. This involves communication and problem solving, and it can sometimes improve the relationship or reduce the negative behavior. Option D, changing how you respond emotionally, is about adapting. You may not be able to control their behavior, but you can control your reactions. This might include not taking their negativity personally or using techniques like deep breathing to stay calm. Option C is the only answer that could be incorrect because ignoring the problem and letting stress build up can actually make things worse over time and lead to burnout or frustration. Both of these questions show that there isn't just one way to handle stress. Different strategies can work depending on the situation, and often a combination of approaches is most effective. This slide, it looks at several alternative stress management techniques that go beyond traditional methods. These approaches vary in how scientific evidence supports them, so it's important to evaluate them critically for yourself. First, float therapy involves floating in a sensory deprivation tank. By reducing light, sound, and physical sensation, it allows the nervous system to deeply relax. Research shows that even a single session can significantly reduce anxiety and stress levels, although most studies focus on short-term effects. These are a fairly new concept to most people, but there are more and more locations popping up that do offer sensory deprivation tanks. Next is grounding or earthing, which involves direct physical contact with the earth, such as walking barefoot on grass, sand, or soil. The idea behind earthing is that the earth carries a natural electrical charge, and when your body comes into contact with it, electrons may transfer into the body. This is thought to help reduce inflammation and stabilize physiological processes like stress hormones. Some small studies suggest benefits like improved sleep, reduced cortisol levels, and lower stress. However, it's important to note that the research in this area is still limited, and it's not as strong or as consistent as other stress management techniques. So while earthing may have potential benefits and is considered safe and easy to try, it might be viewed with some skepticism. And I would definitely use it more as a complementary practice rather than a scientifically proven method. Next, aromatherapy, which involves the use of essential oils to influence mood and stress levels. Common examples include lavender for relaxation, peppermint for focus, and eucalyptus for calming effects. It works through the sense of smell. When you inhale these scents, signals go directly to the brain's limbic system, which is responsible for emotion, memory, and parts of the stress response. That's why certain smells can immediately make you feel calmer or remind you of a specific memory. Research shows that aromatherapy can reduce perceived stress, anxiety, and even physical signs like heart rate. Because of this, it's often used in healthcare settings such as hospitals or nursing environments to help patients relax. However, it's important to understand that the effects are generally considered mild, and they can vary from person to person. A scent that relaxes one person might not have the same effect on someone else. It's also important to use aromatherapy safely. Some people may experience allergic reactions, skin irritation, or headaches from certain essential oils. In addition, using diffusers in enclosed spaces may contribute to indoor air pollution or worsen breathing issues for people with asthma or other lung conditions. So while aromatherapy can be helpful, it should be used in moderation and with awareness of individual sensitivities. Cold plunge therapy or cold exposure involves immersing the body in cold water. This initially activates the body's stress response, but afterward can lead to a calming effect and improve stress resilience. Some studies show benefits, especially when combined with controlled breathing techniques, although, once again, results can vary from person to person. And finally, red light therapy. It uses a low-level red or near-infrared light to affect cellular processes like energy production and inflammation. While there is some evidence for physical recovery benefits, there is currently limited direct evidence supporting its effectiveness specifically for stress reduction. However, the claims that it helps by reducing cortisol levels, improving sleep, and lowering oxidative stress through cellular level mitochondrial stimulation. Overall, these techniques, such as float therapy, have the strongest support, while others, like aromatherapy and cold exposure, show moderate benefits. All of these methods, though, are viewed as complementary tools rather than replacements for established stress management strategies. Managing stress also isn't just about tackling it in the moment. It's about how you take care of your body and mind every day. Ways you could do this would be by increasing physical activity. Exercise isn't just about fitness, it actually reduces stress hormones like cortisol and releases endorphins, which are your body's natural mood boosters. Even light activity like walking, stretching, or dancing can make a difference. Some great stress relieving activities you might incorporate could be yoga or Tai Chi. Next, healthy habits. Getting enough sleep is essential. Without it, stress feels worse and it's harder to concentrate. Try getting between 7 to 9 hours nightly. Eating balanced meals and staying hydrated also supports your energy and your mood. I know we might tend to reach for a glass of wine or beer or a sweet treat after a hard day, and this might make us feel better in the moment, but may cause even more stress in the long run. So small changes like adding an extra vegetable or drinking more water can help more than you might think. Finally, hobbies and things you enjoy. Spending time doing something that makes you happy, whether it's reading, drawing, playing music, gardening, these can all give you your mind a much needed break from stress. Enjoyable activities boost your mind and your mood and even help you build a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. So the key idea is stress management isn't just reacting to the stress, it's building daily habits that strengthen your resilience. Another key part of managing stress is reaching out for support. You don't have to handle stress alone. Having social support, like talking to someone you trust, such as a friend, family member, or a mentor, can help you feel understood and less overwhelmed. Even just sharing what's on your mind or venting a little bit can help reduce the mental load. Sometimes hearing another perspective can also help you see solutions or coping strategies you hadn't even thought of. In addition to personal support, there are also a lot of workplace resources available to you as well, such as an Employee Assistance Program or EAP. These programs often provide free and confidential counseling, stress management resources, and support for both personal and work-related challenges. If you are unsure what your employer provides, reach out to your HR department for more understanding of this benefit. You also have access to support through the providers at the Symbol Clinic and your health coach, where they can help guide you through stress management strategies, lifestyle changes, or connect you with additional resources. And there are times when stress becomes too heavy to manage on your own, and you may need more structured or professional support. This is completely normal. A counselor or therapist can help you develop coping strategies, provide guidance, and identify if stress is affecting your mental or physical health in a more serious way. Overall, asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness, and it's an important step in taking care of your well-being. Some signs that you might need extra help include stress that's affecting sleep or appetite, constant anxiety, difficulty concentrating, feeling overwhelmed most of the time, or physical symptoms such as headaches or stomach aches that don't go away. So combining everyday social support with professional help when needed creates a strong safety net for handling stress effectively. So to wrap up, stress is something we all experience and it's completely normal. The important thing is learning how to manage it in healthy ways. We talked about different techniques like breathing, relaxation, mindfulness, and the 4 A's: avoid, alter, adapt, and accept, along with some emerging alternative techniques in building healthy daily habits. The key takeaway is that small, consistent actions like getting enough sleep, staying active, or taking a few minutes to relax can make a big difference over time. And most importantly, you don't have to deal with stress alone. Support is always available if you need it. Managing stress is really about taking care of both your mind and your body. Stress is unavoidable, but how you handle it is something you can control. So thanks everyone for joining today. Before you log off, make sure you click the attendance link in the chat. Now I will take a few minutes to answer any questions you all might have, or if you'd like to share some ways that you all manage stress, I'd love to hear those as well.